So we have the fantastic Canon C400 here. And I'm sure you guys are all noticing that I've added something to the back of it. I ended up buying the Tilta V-Mount Plate. This whole thing integrates into the Canon C400, plugs in, and then you just slide in your V-mount battery. That's it. You are integrated. And then you have all these ports that you can attach to. So, is it worth buying? I think it is, but there's a couple of pros and cons. Let's dive in. So if you guys have been watching my channel, you know that I was talking about getting a V-mount plate. I was kind of torn between Tilta or Smallrig. I did want to run V-mount batteries for my Canon C400. I think that the Canon BP A60N or even the 30N batteries are real expensive, and it just made sense to get the V-mount plate and then a bunch of V-mount batteries and be able to have all the extra ports. It financially made sense, and so far it's been working out. I do have the 99 kilowatt one, the larger battery, and then I have the 50s. The 50s actually give me around an hour and a half to almost 2 hours of battery life, depending on what we're doing, the resolution that we're shooting at, and if we're using the ports and all that. And then the 99 kilowatt battery, or the larger battery, is basically equivalent to the BP A60N. I can get 2.5 hours, even 3 hours out of that, depending again on what I'm shooting. So I've been happy with the V-mount solution in general. Now, the Tilta V-mount plate is very high quality. It's really easy to install. It has so many different ports. I mean, you have a PD in at 45 watts. You have a PD at 20 watts. You have a PD at 60 watts. Okay. You have a USB A. You have, 14.8 volts at the top. You have an output. It looks like an input. Then you have the 14.8 volts off to the side. So basically you have everything that you need, not only to run directly into the Canon through DC in, but also to power up any other monitors or anything else if you wanted to use the V-mount battery to do all that. It's very high quality. It feels very solid, but there's a couple things that I don't like about it. So first off, the way that it mounts, if you are using the larger BP A60N battery, then let me get it down a little bit. It will not sit flush, right? It's going to be angled. If you remove the battery, then it sits flush. And I think this looks a lot better, right? I wish they would have had it kind of a little bit offset, a little higher, so you could still rock this battery and run the V-mount. I think Smallrig does that. I think Smallrig has theirs sitting a little higher, and then you can kind of run both, which is pretty cool. Not a huge deal. You can just get an adapter plate or an offset plate or something like that, and then connect to that and then run offset. But yeah, oftentimes I'll remove the battery and just run the V-mounts. And then if I know I have a long shoot, if I go with the larger batteries and run the BP batteries, I know I'm going to be shooting all day. So, it's a great setup. The second thing I don't like, if you have a battery in there, at least I haven't figured it out, so let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, you can't turn it off. You see that blue light's always on? It's always drawing power, which I think is odd. Like, sometimes I want this, ready to go for a shoot, or maybe it's like we're out to lunch, or it's in my camera bag, set up, ready to go. I don't know, right? It's just set up and ready to go. And it's drawing power. The battery's just getting eaten away, right? So I don't see a way to turn it off, to like put it in standby mode or something. It's always drawing power from the V-mount battery. Those are really my two biggest gripes. Other than that, it works fantastic. I mean, it's been just a great addition. It's not adding a ton of weight. Definitely adds weight, but not a ton of weight, especially with the 50s on there. And I feel like I don't really need any more batteries. I bought two 50s and two 100s, along with the BP A60N. And I know there's some like power issues that you can run into if you're rocking the new 24 to 105 f 2.8. I think, you know, you'll get a message saying, hey, you don't have enough, you know, power to run that, you know, lens or any motorized lenses, right? Simple solution is to just keep this battery in there, the original Canon battery, and run your V-mounts, and you're fine. It's going to be okay. I haven't tested it without the battery, with like maybe a, you know, the larger batteries, the 100s or the 99s, but I don't have the 24 to 105 to test it. Maybe I'll rent it one day because I am considering buying it, and then I'll see if it throws that error. It's not a cheap plate. I bought it for $100 and it was $129.99. And then I saw on Black Friday they dropped it to, I think, $119 or something like that. So it's not super expensive, but not super bad. I think the Smallrig was selling it, their V-mount plate, for a similar price. I think it was also $130, something like that. So very, very competitive. And then the batteries, I'm rocking this newer for the 50s. I did that on purpose. I wanted to test out these newers, and they've been great. But K&F Concept, I think it's K&F Concept, they have amazing V-mount batteries, the 99 kilowatt ones, that honestly are going toe-to-toe with the Smallrig ones, and they're working out very, very nicely. I bought 2 of those. You can get those on sale for $100. I think the newers, I got them on Black Friday each for $50. I mean, got 2 of those for $50, and I got 2 of the 99 ones by K&F Concept for $100 each. 4 good batteries are going to give me plenty of juice. So I think, you know, it's a no-brainer. I did, with the 50s, let the camera run at 24p for the entirety, and I got about an hour and like 51 minutes, I think, something like that. And then I was shooting at 4K. And then I let it run at 6K raw LT. Again, 24 frames. And it ran for like an hour and 40, something like that. Again, 50s. And then lastly, I let it run at 6K raw light LT. And we went 60p, 60 frames. And let's just put it this way. The memory card that I have in here, which I am doing 512 gigabytes. The memory card filled up before the battery died. So I think I had like 48 minutes on the memory card. The memory card filled up, and then I still had, I wrote this down somewhere. I think I still had like 40% on the battery or something like that. So clearly there was enough juice to keep going. I'm never gonna do 6K raw at, you know, 60 frames for an hour and a half or something like that. If you're considering getting the Tilta V-Mount Plate for the Canon C400, I think it's fantastic. It has a couple of, you know, little quirks here and there, but overall, I'm glad I did it. That's it for me, guys. I hope you found this video informative, and if you did, please consider subscribing and joining our channel memberships. I'll catch you on the next video.